Adventurers Wanted. My name is Leo, I'm your games master this morning, and this is a relaxed performance, which means that we have a relaxed attitude to sound and movement from the audience for the benefit of people that would struggle to stay still or silent for a whole hour. The lights will stay exactly like this, and there should be no loud noises unless I forget myself, although there will be some mood music throughout. If you do feel like you need a break, feel free to duck out the door you came in, although do feel free to join us again whenever you're ready. Were you good? Someone's at the door? Oh, it's Chris with the coffee. Fantastic. If you do need anything, Naomi is our stage manager. She's just over your right shoulder. Give her a wave, grab her attention. Thank you, Chris. And she will do whatever she can to help you. So what is this? This is a tabletop role-playing game, which means that the four people on my left and right here play individual, unique characters in a fantasy setting. As the game master, I play the fantasy setting. The weather, the forests, the forest animals that they've been talking to, and to try and keep things fair, we interact with each other using dice. Here is a big one, so you can see. Thank you, Bex. The most common die will be... Bless you. The most common die that we'll be using is the D20, or 20-sided die here, with high numbers being better than low numbers. So if you roll a natural 20 there, that's almost always an automatic success, and a natural 1 is almost always an automatic failure, even if what you were trying to do is really easy, like walking down some stairs. Thank you, Vince. So the story so far. The four characters that will be joining are part of a rebellion that has been a successful rebellion. Over the last 5 years, they've been enslaved by an imperial cult that forced them to mine a mysterious ore. And they threw the cult off, drove them out of the capital city, united the local area, and now people are coming to them with their problems. The druids of the local forest Oakham Bramble have beseeched them to come and figure out what's going on with their forest spirits. When they got to the forest, they saw that these small spirits, which I have described as sort of looking like desiccated pine cones with faces, are carrying rocks to the base of one of the most important trees in the forest, the spirit trees. It turns out those rocks are actually containing pieces of the ore that they've been struggling to get to grips with. This ore, they have seen, is very explosive, but when they tried to use it as a weapon, they also found out it had corruptive properties and turns things into monsters. And they're sort of dealing with the debate around that. So the very last thing that we saw was in trying to talk to the forest spirits, the little chwingers, as I will refer to them from now on as, these pinecone creatures, the druid Kehim and his wife Wasatris started a ritual, but the ritual seems to have had an adverse effect on two of our party members, aging them as they stand, and they've grown a little bit older already, and that's immediately just a touch. But that's immediately where we left off. Let's meet our players and their characters and jump straight back into the action. So, starting on my right here, please tell us your name, your character's name, and give us their pronouns and a little bit about where their head is at the moment.
Hi, my name is Bex. I play Thatchy Moon, the Orc Ranger. Thatchy uses they, them pronouns. What has most recently happened is Thatchy has been fastly accelerated to death, not with losing hit points per normal D&D, but just through straight aging and being quite old. So that will be interesting, I think.
Yeah, we'll see. Tom?
Hello, I'm Tom. I use he, him pronouns. My character is Evin, the Paladin Aasimar, and she uses she, her pronouns. If you don't know what an Aasimar is, it's a sort of low-level angel who, in Evin's case, as far as she's aware, she was only brought into existence maybe as little as a day ago and sent by her deity to come and assist with various things centering around purifying the various victims of this corrupting ore. So has come along to help with this, and has just witnessed these people age and felt maybe like she should have aged as well, but she's a construct created by a deity, so maybe she can't age, but we should see.
The deity being Corellin, because that might come up.
Corellin is her god, yes.
Vic?
I'm Vic. I play Fidget, she, her pronouns. She is technically a wood elf, but she was raised from a very young age by a tribe of grungs. Grung are kind of chaotic, poisonous, colourful, small frogs. And she has tried to emulate their appearance as much as she can through ribbons and face paint and things like that. As such, she is quite a strange creature in kind of all senses of the word, but she's just seeing her friend's age and she's very worried about this forest, which is her home.
I am Richard. I'm playing Sandor Blackmore, the human sorcerer, with both he, him pronouns. Sandor is very nervous about this weird ore and has not yet noticed that he's put on several years and is going to be very unimpressed when he finds out.
Cool. So let's get our dreamy music back in and jump straight back in as the Chewingas appear to have all stopped. What they were doing is they were doing sort of not a human chain, but a forest spirit chain back and forth from the spirit tree, carrying these pieces of ore and stuffing it into the tree itself until the tree seemed full. But when the ritual began, they all appeared to have stopped that and are staring at our party. Yes. Kehim lets go of your hands, breaks the circle, and looks a little bit exhausted for a second.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
As Sandor notices that Thatchy has aged.
What?
Yeah.
Is that meant to happen?
It can sometimes be an adverse effect.
And you didn't.
You
mention this beforehand.
Well, if I've done the spell correctly, it doesn't always happen, but I'm sorry.
Why do you not do the spell effectively?
It's a difficult spell, Fidget.
I mean, you're the one that's meant to do it.
Again, you didn't think telling us before you did this was a risk might have been considerate.
I thought you would know that dealing with magic is difficult no matter what you're doing.
I mean,
You of all people, you're a sorcerer.
Yeah, I expect it from me. I was supposed to be a druid, wizard, I don't know.
Yes, I am a druid. But this is not always mean that I can control time. What I have done is ripped us out of a flow in order to talk to the spirits on their level.
Okay, fine, let's do that then.
Wisatris, Kehim's wife, is stood there with her staff looking entirely sort of nonplussed by the situation. She's like, oh, this is rather pleasant, really, isn't it? As she looks, you follow her gaze to the edge of the clearing, and like I said, all except for was it Thatchy? You didn't roll very high for this one. You can see that the trees that make up the edge of this clearing are not encroaching into the clearing, but they are growing old, aging, dying, and growing again. It's almost like you're seeing the forest in fast forward. Every 5 or 6 seconds, the trees have completely gone through a life cycle and are replacing themselves and respawning. That's a terrible word, but yeah, there we go. Yeah.
What's time doing back on where we were before?
Time is moving, but we should be able to rejoin it where we left it.
Okay, but you also, said that magic is dangerous, so is there a chance we're going to come back and it's going to be like 10 years in the future?
I mean, that's never happened to me.
But
it could, I mean...
The noise of DMs making notes in the audience.
Look, I know you're having a bad day, and I don't want to knock your confidence, but I don't think you're very good at this.
Just going to be silently nodding along.
Right, well, I tell you what, I won't try and help from the future then.
Now you're just being childish.
Childish! I am a 500-year-old druid who has just performed one of the most powerful rituals in his spellcasting ability, and I'm being told that I'm not very good.
And then someone questions you, and you're having a hissy fit. So I sort of feel like you made his point.
Roll an insight check, all three of you, not Thatchy.
I have no idea what is happening.
Natural 1, okay. It's throwing a hissy fit.
15.
15?
23.
23. So, Sandor, you have always got your analytical mind open. And as you're watching Kehim throw this hissy fit, you can actually almost see him regressing, looking younger. The wrinkles around his eyes smoothing out.
I'm going to gently edge towards him. Okay, tell you what, let's just do what we came here to do and get out before anything goes worse.
Yes, I think that is wise. Ooh, I'm suddenly feeling very energetic.
We're being quite rude to the Rangas. Hello, guys.
Welcome.
Oh my god! I wanted to meet you all my life, and now I can understand you.
I didn't follow that.
That's perfectly normal.
I've never heard you speak before.
You have heard us speak many times.
Okay, but I didn't understand.
You just have not understood.
Yeah, because you sound like you're clicking a lot of the time.
That is our language.
No, I know, but I don't speak your language.
I know.
I can do this.
She is very rude, isn't she?
She is.
Forthright. I appreciate that.
Blunt.
Now, let's just get together. You said you were going to accent change. I was like, that's a great idea.
So,
This
just on the ground.
stones. You've been picking them
The
up.
holy rock, indeed.
There is nothing holy about this
rock.
rock.
The rock must be in the tree. You must help us.
I don't see any holes in it.
May I ask?
The sacred rock.
Good catch.
Cheers.
That was to the Chewinga. Why does it need to be in the tree?
It will be explained. It will be purified. It will be safe. It will be holy. It must be in the tree. And at this point, they all pick up their rock again and turn towards the tree. The tree itself begins to move. Now, you're not unaccustomed to trees moving in the oak and bramble. It's kind of what they do here. But it swoops down with a bow and clips a Chewinga off into the underbrush. Its stone left scattered rolls up to Fidget's feet. The stone, that is, not the Chewinga.
I don't think the tree wants the stone.
No, but the tree doesn't know what's good for it.
Why do you think the tree needs this?
The tree does not need it. The stones need it.
Okay, why are you doing what the stones need?
The stone is sacred
To who?
to the world.
Which
It is sacred. It has been corrupted.
Yes.
We must decorrupt it.
How?
Put it in the tree.
I don't
Have we
think-
not been clear?
What does that do to the
You're
tree?
clear, I just think you're wrong. I don't think that's working.
And what do you know of trees?
That is
I know that
quite
that tree
fair.
just clipped you real hard around the ear for trying to put stone near it.
If you helped, then they might not clip us.
How do you know that the tree...
And just to be clear, this conversation is not happening with one Chewinga. The Chewingas have started their procession back to and fro the tree again, and every time you ask a question, just whichever one is like parallel with you steps out of the line and just has a conversation with you quickly, and then steps back into the line and carries on. It's like they're speaking with one voice.
Do I have
How do you
any-
know the tree works that way? Has it worked? Have you seen one of the stones be purified?
Yes.
Can I see the purified stone?
Look. Roll a perception check.
That's good. 23.
Inside the tree, you can see the ore that was stuffed in there. And the stones that have veins of this ore in begin to crumble at the edges slightly as you watch. The hard rock becoming sedimentary, and the gravel sort of shifting away, leaving the vein this great bright green sort of crystalline crystalline crystal. There we go. It's still early. This crystal, and then whenever there is a crystal, the Chewingas try and get at it to take it out. The tree, like I say, is resisting. And its boughs are moving, it's creating, its roots are sort of breaking through the earth and throwing Chewingas this way. I think sort of Whomping Willow from Harry Potter, as it's just sort of moving and just punts another Chewinga into the forest as you watch. So they're really struggling to get... And while on your timeline it looked like they were getting the rock into the tree... here in the, for want of a better word, what I will call the spirit realm, it looks like they're having a lot more of a struggle. It's more of a conflict up here.
I mean, before we got to talk to you, I kind of thought that maybe you were doing something that was sort of evil, and then we talked to you and you explained it. So maybe you should talk to the tree.
We have spoken to the tree. It disagrees.
They can be stubborn.
Trees can be stubborn.
Maybe if the tree doesn't want you to do it, you should just not.
If we do not purify this ore, it will poison the forest.
I'm gonna look at Fidget and say, does it look like it's actually getting purified at all?
Well, it's turning green, and in my experience, green is very good.
I look at
Works for me.
I look at Tachi and what has happened? Okay, when we were in the mine, the ore did seem it changed in some way, did it not? And is this better than?
Let me recall. It seems like a lifetime ago.
You could say 21 years.
I am hesitant, you see, because this does sound like a bad idea. But if it is indeed purifying the ore, then maybe we need to assist.
It may be worth taking some ore back for study.
We should at the very least...
Absolutely not. It is sacred.
Well, so am I. And then I get off the... I get off the caravan and start walking towards the tree.
Amazing. As you...
I mean, that's kind of fun. Yeah.
Can I get a dexterity saving throw from you?
Yeah, you can. Oh boy, I'm bad at these. That's, with my extra 3, that's a 7.
7.
Hell yeah.
As you're walking towards the tree, a root erupts from the ground below you, catching your foot and sending you flying head over heels.
Forward or backwards?
Forward.
Okay.
And you just smack straight on the ground. And it then, as you lie there, the root tightens around your ankle and holds you in place.
Well, now, there is no need for this.
You say to the moss.
Yes.
I'm going to step forward a bit and go, oi, tree spirit thing.
Roll a charisma check.
Why not? Persuasion
With disadvantage for using the word oi.
I gotta be me. That is
Oh wow!
still remarkably good. 20.
20.
Yep.
The tree, its bark sort of twists and moves as you watch, creating a face not unlike the Chewinga's faces, and the 2 eye slits open up, showing a sort of vein of... it's not like the eyes are glowing, but the oak underneath it is a slightly brighter brown than the bark.
Bow and say, greetings, righteous defender of nature.
What are you saying to it?
I understand that you have great disagreement with these smaller Chewinga who seek to purify the ore tainted by strange eldritch forces.
As you say that, another Bowser sort of backhands a Chewinga into the...
I'm going to swallow a small laugh there. But,
swallow a...
small laugh.
Okay.
Snicker a little bit.
Can I say I'm trying to catch Chewingas as they go?
Sure, roll an athletics check for me.
That's a natural one.
Natural one. You're desperately running around, but so many of them are being scattered. Like, you're just halfway to catching one. You're like, the other one. Oh no, they're over there.
Does one hit me in the face?
Yes, and then you are hit in the face by one, and you are knocked over. For now.
Yes, they are. I gather your disagreement with these Chwenga who seek the purification of the eldritch tainted material.
It hurts.
I know that you are suffering in this, and that is most unwelcome, but sometimes suffering must be endured for the greater good. And I'll turn and point to Tachi and say,
What?
we ourselves have risked much to come here and speak to you.
It cannot be endured. We will perish.
Can you truly purify the dark forces in it?
I cannot tell. This word, purification, seems a cruel joke to me.
There is a taint, a sickness in it, like a blight.
And it transfers to me.
Is there anything we can do to aid you, to ease the pain or the suffering? Anything else?
That one doesn't really seem to be on the table, so... Can I reach out while I'm still... Can I reach out behind me and put a hand on the root that's grabbing my ankle? And then actually lay on hands for 5 hit points in an attempt to cure disease affecting the thing that's touching me.
On the tree?
On the tree, yeah.
Yeah, okay, sure.
I heard that, right? I heard what it was saying to... Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you narrate how your lay on hands happens first.
Well, it's rather awkward. I'm face down like this, and I'm pinned down by this thing, but it's got my ankle, so I just reach down and put a hand on the root that's around my ankle. And then, there's a sort of a golden energy, sort of, you have to look closely, because it's passing not very closely, but quite closely between my hand and the root, and just tries to imbue it, less with hit points healing, but more the sort of anti-disease thing that you can do if you spend 5 of them.
Okay.
Because of purification. That's my thing. Let's see what we can do here.
Absolutely. And so a section of the butt, you can't see what's happened because you're face down.
Actually, I guess I've got a hinge in my neck like most creatures. I can probably do that.
Yeah, but the root is down by your ankle, so if you're like this, you'd have to bend all the way around.
I despise having a physical form.
I guess roll acrobatics to see if you can roll over.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
In place? It's not bad.
It's a 14.
You managed to sort of twist just so that you're on your side, so you can at least see what you're doing. And you reach over, and your hand glows, and for the width of your palm, and the width of your palm only, the bark seems to untwist and return to its natural state, its natural sort of brown oakiness. But for the width of your palm only. Yes. Now, knowing you can do that for 30 hit points. 30 hit points.
So I can do it 5 more.
So you could do 6 hands worth of this tree.
That's quite a large horse.
Today.
Nice.
6 hands worth of this tree today. This would be a long... this would take a while.
I'd like to look back at the tree in this pinecone face that it's made and see if it's responded positively to that, at least.
Like a twitch.
You get no response.
I move the Chimanga off my face. What happens if you do it to the ore?
We have
You want me
found
to
that
heal the...
magic
Yes.
and ore has not always been the best.
Kahim starts to look a little bit distressed. He goes, No, I do not want you to be messing around with this ore in this state. Like, I do not know what will happen. We are in a different plane of reality almost.
Will that be an awfully bad idea?
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Black, thank you very much.
I'm out.
I'm just looking just a tiny bit tempted at the ore now.
Okay.
When we were nearly killed not long ago, it was because the ore began to explode because
Feels
it was
like long
exposed.
to me.
It was exposed to magic, and that was not a good thing.
Well, what kind of magic? Because there's different kinds of magic.
It's true.
Yes, there are.
We have found that experimenting magically on the ore thus far has only resulted in explosion.
In the short or long term.
So, Tony, was the druid's name, is it Kehian or something like that?
Kehim. Yeah.
Kehim.
Ceirm. Kehim.
Why does the ore need to be purified?
Who are you throwing that question at?
I mean, I know...
The Chewingas?
Yeah, is it hurting the forest, or have you just seen it and seen something which is, you think, toxic, and therefore you've given it to this tree, when actually maybe you could just put it somewhere where it won't hurt anyone?
The holy rock winds through the roots of creation. It gives us energy. It gives us life. It sustains the whole world.
So that's a no?
It must be saved from the evil one.
Okay, but you can't... The tree, it's got a face. You can't just...
I have a face.
You do, and
I have a face.
No, I'm
I
very-
too have a face.
I only recently got a face, and before then I was still real.
Okay, look, I'm very pro saving creatures with faces, and also those who don't have faces.
Thank you.
Yes, that's okay. But you can't. I mean, the tree's sick, and that's wrong too. So we have to find a way to stop the ore from causing these problems that doesn't involve torturing a tree.
The world has been sickened. When the unspoken one came to our planet, it brought with it a great evil that poisoned the very core of our planet. Now that it is left, we can heal. It will take time, but we can heal.
Yeah, if you kill the tree doing the healing because you try and do it too fast, that doesn't really work. If you did it a lot more slowly...
There are millions of trees.
Can you not just take a little bit longer, like put one rock in each tree? And then wait a bit until it's purified.
Yeah,
and
you
do
just
that again?
spread the torture, but make it slightly milder. That's perfect.
We
I
do
think
not.
enduring mild discomfort to purify the world from the influence of the evil one is not a big ask.
Could you not make sure that you plant the exactly correct number of trees in return for the ones you are destroying, so that over time it all balances out, so your footprint would not be that great? And you're
A sort of sustainability program.
Yes.
Turning to Kahim, so the tree's suffering a lot, but can we see the healed handprint on it?
Yes, because the root is still holding
I was going to say, can I now make an athletics check?
Evan
to get
in
free?
check.
Well, how can I get free?
Roll a strength check.
Okay. Nope.
Nope.
I'll come and help you up.
Being
Slowly.
I mean, his ankle is trapped.
Could
Oh, sorry, her ankle is trapped. Thank you.
I'm strong.
dig the dirt out underneath it.
Okay, why don't you try and pull the ankle out?
Wrench.
13.
Nope. Thatchy
Sorry, you're
bends
here
bends
forever.
down,
alright.
and they pull on her ankle, but it doesn't quite work.
Mr. Tree, could you let my friend know?
Is she coming to put more stone in me?
Actually, quite the opposite.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Yeah, because it's not deception. That is a 14.
Yeah, right. So the root loosens and lengthens to the extent where you can just squeeze your heel out underneath it and pop your leg out.
Thank you.
Kahim,
Yes.
you're a druid and all. Do you
Yes.
know... Not to be facetious, but do you know special healing magic for plants that can cure more of the disease on this than just that handy handprint? I mean, surely that's got to be one of your main things, right?
I do, but I don't know. This isn't a regular disease. This is...
And if that hadn't just worked, I'll point at the handprint, I would be a lot more dubious about the whole idea. But it seems like it's at least possible.
His power comes from... her power comes from Deriland. I don't know...
Can we ask for Deriland's help then? Channel more through her and allow you to channel that into the plant somehow?
I would happily do so.
Together, maybe?
Teamwork.
I have never communed with one who... I do not... Well, strictly speaking, I do not worship Deriland, I represent him. But yes, I could work with those who worship him, or...
Okay. So...
With a mechanic, yeah.
I just did. Give me a second. Kahim takes your hands. Roll a religion check with advantage.
Hell yeah. These are bad rolls today.
That's
a natural 20.
That is a natural 20.
One per session.
Good timing.
Would you like to lead the prayer to Deriland? Or do you want Kahim to?
I will actually
Go on,
say
Tom.
that no, Evan has never prayed to Deriland because Evan is an angel, not a worshipper.
I understand, so-
I think she'd just be interested in hearing how
Okay.
the mortal types.
No, it makes perfect sense.
So I'll be marking you in a way.
So it's like reading a customer feedback form, right?
Oh, I see. They think that's what he did. Okay.
Lord of Magic, Purifier of the Weave, we ask that you send to us power enough to help this tree through its troubles. Bring the tree the strength to cleanse the ore, and with that strength, the power to exist on beyond this struggle. What do you reckon?
A little bit New Testament. But,
I was raised Church of England, so...
That's better than alternative.
more of an Exodus guy.
Amazing.
The clouds that were... None of you really paid attention to the sky. As you're looking up, it's sort of doing a strobe effect. Really, really fast. Yeah, I could rave to this. No, you can see if the lifetime of a tree is sort of... if the lifetime of a tree is, as I established it, about 5 to 7 seconds, you can imagine how quickly a day would flick by, to the extent where the light... So what it looks like is, you know when you watch cinema that's like at slightly too low a frame rate, so sort of like 20 frames per second, something like that, you can see the days, but it's almost like it's like watching a projection of the sky, is what I'm saying. It's weird, sorry, I tried to explain it, there we go. Through that breaks a beam of light, which casts a sort of pallor on a space beside you, and you can see a figure coming down from the sky. A great angel, sword in hand, blue of skin, hairless, with, thankfully, a loincloth around his waist.
I've watched Dogma.
The angel travels down from the sky and lightly, almost without even actually it's almost like the angel's on point this entire time, sort of stands almost tiptoe on the ground.
Probably kneeling at this point.
You sent for aid, Evan. Do you find this task beyond you?
Entirely straight-faced, Evan would say. Yes.
Then I shall guide you. There are many trees in the world. I see them all. At the right hand of Deriland, we purify the worlds, not the trees. This is my guidance.
Thank you. Do you have any...
Do you want more practical advice?
Yes. Where would we begin purifying the world in this specific instance?
Take the ore, revert it to the crystal that holds the weave together, that binds reality to time.
Using the tree?
Yes. Using the tree.
Soul's tree.
Sorry, tree. When we have purified all of it, things will calm.
Things will begin to heal. The sky will return to blue. The weave will reknit.
The burden can be shared by the many trees on this world.
Yes.
Good.
Good.
Sort of worked that one out, but I wanted to...
Was that all? Everyone else is just sort of like...
I'm going to be very, very nervously raising a hand in the background.
Human!
Don't look directly at it.
Do you have a brief question to match your brief existence?
Yes. The trees are being harmed by this and don't necessarily consent. Can we still do that to them?
The tree's consent is not of my concern. What is of my concern is the construction of the weave and its link to the flow of time. If this is not healed, your world and the tree itself will be cast asunder.
Still wrong, though.
You have a right to question the gods, but I have given you my answer.
I just want to say hi.
Greetings. And yourself, Orc?
No, nothing from me.
Okay, good.
Are you actually Deriland, or are you just a thing like Evan is?
I am a planetar of Deriland.
Uh-huh.
I have not yet been named.
Would you like a name?
I am intrigued.
I will call you Planet, but it's P-A-P-L''ANET.
So planet, or
No, you should still say Planet.
just planet?
It's a silent apostrophe.
Is
Thank you.
Planet, if I may,
Sorry, I'm not used to the name yet. Go again.
Planet, if
I wonder if it has a rank.
is Corellon...
Sorry, I don't know if everyone heard that. Richard said, I wonder if it has a rank.
That's totally Sandor.
Sandor said that.
Looking for.
And then I was like, well, yeah, it would have a rank because it's a planetar and it would be one of the captains of... I get it. Sorry, we'll go back to...
Oh yeah, is...
Captain Planet.
Have I pleased Corellon so far?
You are doing mighty works on this world. We have kept you here because of your effectiveness.
4 stars.
Then good. I will continue to do all that I must, however uncomfortable it may make me or my companions.
That is your duty, Evan. Is that all?
We will purify the ore.
Good. Farewell. And it unfurls its wings, which end up being about 12 foot in wingspan. This thing is huge, and it flies up into the air, following the stream of light back to the heavens.
Goals.
Only because you got a natural 20, you jammy.
Thank you, Mark. One day.
So,
The tree looks rather concerned. Your god has doomed me then.
It's kind of what gods do.
yeah, not okay with that. Could we try and convince them to spread it between a lot more trees? I guess I know that it's still bad, but if more trees did it, all of you could be just a bit hurt. But
You're
not.
talking to the Chewingas specifically now?
To the tree.
To the tree? I mean, the tree doesn't really have a say in it.
Well, I know, but I want to know what its opinion is.
My roots
Because if the world dies, you die too.
Quite. My roots run deep. I sense much of this stone below the earth. Too Too much for every tree in Oakham Bramble to bear the brunt. If this were given to many of us, I fear the forest would become evil again, and yet I struggle. For while I see the good, my existence is my primary concern.
Look, Mr. Planet said that we have to...
Use his proper title.
Am I going to regret doing this later? Yeah.
It's called Players.
He said that we had to go and sort it out from the source, right? So if we do that, then there'll be no more evil law, and then you can stop doing this to the tree. And so maybe stop torturing the tree, and we'll take care of the other stuff.
It's to the Chewingas.
To the Chewingas.
To the Chewingas.
I'm going to be nodding along to this.
The Chewingas have sort of created they've got a little pile of ore now on the left, because they can't seem to get to the tree to put it inside the tree. And they turn to you and go, listen, elf, grung, whatever you are.
It's a grung.
We have lived in this forest for much longer than you have. It is our home as it is yours. We know what we must do.
Okay, and I'm not saying you should stop that, but I think you could pause it for a bit while we deal with the bigger problem. I know that we haven't been super impressive so far because, well,
we summoned an angel.
I mean, it was pretty impressive. No, go on.
Well, maybe in the interests of the love for this forest that we both have, you could just trust us to sort it out. And then if it all goes wrong, you can carry on making your sort of mosaic thing, whatever you're doing.
I'm sorry if we missed the plot, but what was your plan? Because we have a plan here.
So this ore is buried deep in the earth with so much of it that even if you polluted all the trees in all the forest, there would still be a ton of it left.
That's what the tree said. That is not what we say.
Do you have roots going deep into the earth telling how much ore there is?
We are the forest.
Yeah, but it's
you are missing the forest for the tree.
I don't get
Cheers,
that.
I'm here all month.
That's the end. Have you done this before?
No, but the knowledge is in us.
But you're not the forest, though, because the forest is a bunch of trees. So really, the trees of the forest, you just sort of look after it. But if there wasn't a forest here, which is what might happen if you kill them all by filling them full of evil ore, then there won't be a forest, and you'll just be unemployed pine cones.
Roll, I guess, is that intimidation or? Roll intimidation.
I'm bad at both.
I'm going to be totally standing behind, cheering her on, crackling the sorceress
A
energy.
9.
I would say have advantage because everyone has been chipping in on this, yeah.
That's a 10.
Okay. No, they're not convinced. They turn to you and go, you say that if there was no forest, we would not be here, but if we were not here, there would be no forest, huh?
Lame.
You are mean.
The ore can create as well as destroy. If we were to refine it, then the power it would grant us would be most useful.
For what? For what?
To purify the sky, to purge the evil from Holmwood, from Deriland, from the world eventually.
You said a big pile of ore, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a big pile of rocks.
I'd like to.
Right there, Sandor.
I'd like to go up to the tree. I'd like to go up to the tree and approach some of
The tree defensively sort of moves about in front of you.
And I did say I approached you not to place ore in you, but to do the opposite. I would like to inspect this green crystal.
Roll a persuasion check.
15.
15. Okay.
Like a prof.
Sure. It moves the bough out of the way. revealing the crevice into which this ore has been stuffed. And you can see all of the stone has sort of crumbled away now, and the crystal remains, and it is faintly glowing. It's not like, I don't know, Simpson's bar of uranium glowing, but it's like a faint glow. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to touch some
Yep.
very gently.
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Hey. 21.
21? Sure. You can feel the energy trying to push you through time.
Wow.
But
The time crystals.
But you pull yourself back into this space, and you manage to hold on to your reality. And what are you looking for?
I'd like to look at it, like bring it right close to my eye, maybe.
Yeah, that seems like a really good idea.
I'm an angel.
You can sense it has an energy. It has an energy to it, and you're a divine magic caster, but not an arcane magic caster. So I would say just it has an energy to it. Yeah.
Fair. Okay, and it does feel like kind of what the pinecone was just saying of like there's this stuff actually does seem sort of legitimately powerful, not dangerously powerful.
Yes.
As in you could probably do stuff with this.
Yes. Yeah.
Rather than it's just
But
blow up a little.
I mean, it can also blow up a lot.
Yeah, sure. It's just a bit less. Okay, fine. So,
The ore outside, has it got a weird purplish glow to it? Did I see earlier? Or does the ore have any kind of glow to it?
there was a
On the outside,
Yeah, the unrefined stuff.
it's the same sort of green, but it's dull. It's sort of more of a jade. Like when it's in a vein of the stone, it's not a crystal. It looks like a rock.
Can I try and see with some arcane knowledge?
Yep.
Is there any way that I could think of using magic to try and purify the stuff, using like elemental acid to try and burn out the impurity or anything like that? Obviously, that's wildly dangerous. But
Yeah. Roll an Arcana check.
Any help? Anyone?
No. No one else is an arcane caster.
No,
Like, you know.
yeah,
You're the specialist here.
20.
20.
Yep.
hotline to God. So.
From all the research that you've done in this form, magic just makes the thing explode. And it would be a really bad idea to do that.
Yeah.
Especially in what seems to you to be some sort of pocket dimension. But I mean, go for it.
Well, I mean, I'm considering it. I am a sorcerer. This is sort of my stock in trade. What if I use some of the refined crystal to try and channel the power?
Do you try and take some of the refinement?
I'm thinking. Do I think that's even remotely possible that it would help?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna say, can I borrow that a sec?
Roll a Constitution saving throw. As
What are the stars on my saving throw?
that's
your
just
proficiency.
which ones you have
Okay.
proficiency in.
Right, okay. Ow. 24.
24. So as you touch the crystal, you can feel the weave actually thicken around the space where you are holding it, and it does feel like it can be used to power magic. Unfortunately, guys, I know it's not a very fun cliffhanger, but time marches on no matter what kind of a dimension these guys are in, and we are going to have to end that hour of Adventurers Wanted there. Thank you so much for coming. If you did enjoy the show and the weird improvisation that we did there, please...
any of these nights.
No, it's not. Please spread the word about the show on your social medias. We've been live tweeting the whole thing. That's what Naomi's been doing on the laptop over there. Yeah. No, let's appreciate the stage manager. They don't get much appreciation.
Damn right.
At Adventurers250 is the Twitter handle. Everywhere else on the internet, we're Adventurers Wanted, including out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Adventurers Wanted. So while there is still... Bless you. There is still 57 hours of this to go, but if you can't find a way back to us, you can follow out on Twitter and indeed on Twitch. If you really enjoyed what we were doing here as well, there are a limited amount of player tickets, which is what Richard and Vic have brought here, which is why they're up here on the stage. So do inquire at the Sweet Box office about them. And we also have a Patreon page because we do this every month in London, and we do free play events, which is trying to bring Dungeons & Dragons to a wider, more inclusive audience. And if you are umming and ahhing about having a go, maybe you've never played before, we would say, give it a go. It's not scary. It's we'll help you with the maths. Don't worry.
Yeah, everyone needs to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Important.
Yeah,
Just before we leave, I'd like to give over to our players to let them plug something that they're involved in. Doesn't have to be an Edinburgh Fringe show, but yeah, there you go, Tom.
Hello. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, you might also like alternate history. Questions like, what if Hitler had won the war? What if the Stuarts had reclaimed the British throne? Or what if we'd voted Remain in 2016? All of these questions and more are answered, or at least explored, in the books published by Sea Lion Press, my publishing house. We're dedicated, the world's first publishing house dedicated to alternate history. If you like that sort of thing, you can find us at sealionpress.co.uk, or just type Sea Lion Press into Google or Amazon or such like. And we have about 70 books available in ebook form and many in paperback as well. So yeah, Sea Lion Press, if that takes your fancy.
Bex?
So I live in Edinburgh for the full year round, not just for this lovely year of August. So I'm always going to shout out to Scottish artists who are performing during the festival. So I'm going to shout out now my a good pal of mine, Gareth Much, who's a stand-up comedian, also a nerd, which is always ideal. He is doing his show Gareth Much Wants Much More every day at 8:30 at the Rose Theatre.
Cool. Vic?
Yes, in my normal life, I am a documentary maker, and we have currently got a film on iPlayer for the next week and a half or so, called Japan's Secret Shame, which is a very good documentary, if I say so myself, which is about the appalling attitudes to rape in Japan, and is very much worth a watch.
Mm-hmm. And Richard?
I'm just here to play. I'm not really plugging anything.
Okay, no worries. Fantastic. So all that remains me to do is to ask for you to show your thanks for our players and to thank you for coming. Thank you very much.
And a big thank you to Leo.
We do have a really quick turnaround, guys. If you are staying